Thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you, Apostle Mensa, for inviting me to this webinar today. You know, every time we get together with our founders, we know it's always a grand time. Like-minded individuals, you know, who are going somewhere. You know, we are certainly going somewhere. We're not just here just to pass time, right? We are certainly here to basically help to uplift all of humanity if possible, right? We know that there are, you know, a lot of economies out there that are in trouble, even in the United States, okay? So I would say all economies around the world are in trouble, but there are some more so than others, right? And so as we look at, you know, the whole idea of what an economy is, right? We understand that, you know, it has to do with the wealth and the resources of a country, right? Especially when we're talking about the production or the consumption of goods and services. And as we bring that back into Onpassive, what we're talking about is the goods or products that Onpassive will produce, right? So that it can be sold to the marketplace, so people can receive the value from that, right? And so we know that Onpassive in of itself is really creating a new economy, right? An economy where every single person can participate in, every single person can win within that economy by simply choosing to get in. And so we as founders, that's what we've done, right? We've understood the process, right? A message was communicated to us, we decided to accept, right? And so we jumped in. And because of that, all of us are going to win, which is why the phrase was coined, we are in it to win it, or we are so in it, right, to win it, or we are in it to so win it. Any way you want to take it, the bottom line is because we are in, we're going to win. Now we know, or we should know, you know, all the various products that Onpassive have to date, right, that have been mentioned, and we know there's going to be a lot more as we move forward, right? But we should know that, and if we don't know that, all we have to do is go to our corporate website onpassive.com, where we can see the list of products that are on the table at this time, okay? And so all those products will be able to go out to the marketplace, go out to consumers, okay? Customers, go out there to the public, and if they see something that makes sense, what are they gonna do? They're gonna engage, okay? They're gonna get more information, and ultimately they're going to buy, right? They're going to buy. Now, who's gonna want all these products that Onpassive has to offer, right? You can basically say everyone. Doesn't matter if a person's a lawyer, doctor, teacher. It doesn't matter if somebody's into Forex trading, crypto trading, real estate investors. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter if people are simply just looking for a way out. All people want to do is, can I find a way, a method, a means of being able to generate income for myself or my family? So it doesn't really matter. We're talking about more than 5 billion people that's on the internet, but we also included every single person around the globe. So even if they're not on the internet, okay, we're talking about them as well. So in total, that's almost 8 billion people. So can you imagine the impact? Can you imagine the reach that Onpassive will have within people's household, right? They say, right, according to the stats, they say that internet sales alone is expected to be more than 5 trillion with a T this year. So how do we benefit in that economy? How do we profit from all of that, right? All of us should understand the sales process that Onpassive will take us through. We should know that Onpassive is going to set up a unique domain name for us. Onpassive is going to create the content on that site. Onpassive is going to drive visitors, okay? What are visitors? Visitors are potential customers, okay? Onpassive will make it so that these individuals are targeted, meaning they're looking for what we have to offer. So as that process continues day after day, week after week, month after month, okay, what's going to happen? Sales are going to be generated. Okay, and if sales are generated, it means that we are now making an income, because that's how the process works, folks, right? I see some people are getting ahead of themselves, wondering about this and that and all this fancy stuff. But if we just stick to the basics, understanding from A
Does
go
everybody
through
see
that
that he's
process.
frozen? Oh, Michael, just to let you know, about 10 seconds of you just got frozen.
Frozen. Wow.
And then you came back.
Okay. So, well, if you missed it, you missed it, because I don't know what I just said.
Okay,
Anyway,
alrighty.
right?
If it
So,
happens like, over and over, what we can do is have you turn your camera off, but it might be
sure.
okay.
This is
Please
a
proceed.
this is a new one for me. Freezing. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, once we all understand the sales process, because it's important that we understand how we make money on passive. Okay. It's not some pie in the sky thing. It's not some, something that's closed behind, you know, it's real, folks. It's a real business, and every real business have to sell products and or services. Okay. So again, we know the various products, it's on the corporate website. Okay, we've been talking about them over and over and over again. These products need to be sold. So whether that's O Trim, whether that's O Mail, whether it's O Connect, O Academy, okay, it doesn't matter. These products need to be sold to the public, okay, and we're going to generate income as a result of having these customers. Okay, so it's all about customers. So the company is gearing up. The company is planning. They're not planning for you and for me. They're planning for the public. They're planning for hundreds of millions of consumers that will purchase Onpassive products. So as a result of that planning for such large number of individuals, it takes time. Okay, it's as simple as that, folks. So it's not about a delay. It's not about why it's not. It takes time to plan a real business. Okay, and the difference with Onpassive and some of the businesses out there is that Onpassive is doing everything in advance. Okay, Onpassive is not trying to go out there, oh, let's get started. We can just incorporate a business and slap some label on. We're ready to go. We have one or two products. Let's start selling. And then you're not ready for the volume that is coming. So now you have to take a step back. Oh, we got to pause, right? We got to pause. We're going to go back to the drawing board, create some more things, build up our technology and come back to the public again. You don't want to do that, folks. Okay, so Onpassive is simply taking the approach of doing everything in advance. It's all ready to go. We can, if 100 people came on day one, we're good. If 100 million people came in on day one, we're good. If 500 million people come in on day one, we're good. That's the work that's being done with Onpassive, okay? And we're almost there. We are almost there. That's why you see that no more founders can register, okay? That phase is over, okay? It's time to start selling products. And so the company is gearing up for all of that, because I'm telling you, folks, we have to understand the state of the marketplace. What's going on in the world? We have to understand everything now is on the internet. You have people that are working on the internet full time. Okay, full time, like traditional jobs. You have people that are now working from home. They're using the internet, okay, to do whatever it is that they're doing. Okay, that's what's going on. Education. Okay, we've seen that with the pandemic, right? How more and more students had to stay home, etc. Okay, and had to learn from home. Okay, universities are doing that. Okay, so it's the future, folks. Whether it's human resource management, it doesn't matter. Everything is being done on the internet. Communication, right? Think of all the different platforms, different companies have come out with various products that's catering to communicating. And how are they doing it? They're doing it via the internet, okay? That's what's going on, folks. Banking, right? So every sector you can think of, in other words, okay, is connected to the World Wide Web. It's connected to the internet. So Onpassive is poised. We're right there in the midst of all of that, okay, to benefit, to take advantage, to be able to reach massive amount of people, okay? Can you imagine if you had 1 million visitors coming to your site, and these are 1 million people looking for what you have to offer? Can you imagine the amount of sales that you generate as a result of that? Okay, we're talking about massive numbers, folks. We're talking about being able to reach every single person on the internet. Okay, so it's a massive task. There's no doubt about that. Okay, it is something that we have to be prepared for. Okay, it's only, good wisdom, right? Okay, our CEO knows what he's doing is the bottom line. Okay, he knows what he's doing. The staff that he's hired, they know what he's doing because he's not doing it by himself. Okay, so we have to understand that all of us get to participate in this new economy. And the best part about it is that we don't have to even understand the new economy. We don't have to be tech savvy, right? I know we've got some tech pros on here, but we certainly don't have to be like them, right? If you're a grandmother and all you desire is to be able to, leave a legacy for your grandchildren, welcome aboard, right? If you're a teenager, you're 18, 19 years old, okay, you're just getting started in university and you don't know what's ahead of you, not because you go to university to mean that you're guaranteed a job in your field. You understand? So it's good to have something that it doesn't matter what field you choose to go in, you're going to be okay financially. Okay, it also gives you the ability and the option to be able to do what you truly love, because we know a lot of people go to school, but it's not what they really want. You have somebody studying to be a doctor, but they really don't want to be a doctor. They just know that, well, if I become a doctor, it's good pay, but it's not my passion, right? You have some people that are teachers. They don't really want to be a teacher. Okay, that's one of the problems we have in our school system. Okay, you have a lot of people, they're there just to make a buck. It's not their passion. They're not really interested in helping students achieve. They're just there. I need to go through, okay, 9 o'clock, okay, 3 o'clock, school's over. All right, next, right? As opposed to spending the time, giving quality, right? We talk about over market value. Most occupations are not delivering that. Okay, most products are not delivering that. When they come to the marketplace, it's just, oh, let's just get something that can make us some money, and then here we go. And yet we have a company that wants to provide value, provide something to the public that when they get it, it's like, wow, this is refreshing. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Because guess what happens when you provide that? They become a loyal customer. They will stay with you year after year after year after year. And that's what you need if you want residual income. Okay, you need to have loyal customers. And we're going to have that with Onpassive because the value is going to be next to none. Okay, so that's what we have. And so as I said in the message that I posted earlier today, all we have to do is lock arms with our CEO, right? Lock arms. That's all we have to do, right? Because as he said in his message, we are rewriting history. So wouldn't you want to be a part of that? Because this is something that's been done in a positive way, because you can rewrite history in a negative way too, right? We're talking about something that is positive. We're talking about owning the internet. Wouldn't you want to own a piece of the internet? Like, wouldn't you want to? Just the fact that you have a unique domain name, you actually own a piece of the internet. Just that alone, okay? Now, how you monetize that now, that's a different story. But the beautiful thing about it is that Onpassive is going to monetize that domain name for us, okay? So folks, let's understand what we have. Let's pay attention. Let's continue to be positive, knowing that our future is secure. Secure. Right? People, they save, as much as they can. So when they retire, right, they have some sort of security, right? The government calls it social security, right? But if that's all we're dependent on is the government's social security, it's not very secure, is it? Right? It certainly isn't. That's why people have their 401ks and RRSPs and all this other fancy stuff. People really have to do stuff on their own, because if what the government's going to provide was enough, then no one needs to be invested in stocks and bonds and all these fancy stuff, right? The reality is we have a business now that we can count on for social security, financial security. We have a company that we can count on that for. You understand? So this thing is going to touch the 5+ billion people around the world that make less than $10 a day. It's going to touch their lives. Even if all Onpassive did for them was just to double that income. If they're making $10 a day, now they're making $20 a day. Can you imagine the impact that would have? And that's just a small increase. Think about it, right? I know $20 a day would not be sufficient for me and my family, right? It wouldn't be. But for someone who's making $10 a day, or let's say you're making even $100 a day, and all of a sudden now you're making $150 a day as a result of Onpassive. Think of the impact that would have on your life. And if you can't relate to that, what if you're making $2,000 a month? And all of a sudden, because of Onpassive now, because of the sales of these products, right? Now you're able to generate an extra $500 a month on top of what your job is providing for you. Think of the difference that could make in your life. You understand, folks? So it's not necessarily all the time about this massive numbers and people are going to be millionaires and all this crazy stuff. The reality is most people around the world just need a little more than what they have right now. They just need a helping hand. They just need someone to say, hey, you know what? I got your back. I have something that is going to change your life financially. Not something that's going to make you rich. Not something that's going to make you a billionaire. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about making that individual a little bit more secure than they were the day before. Onpassive is going to touch lives. And I'm so proud and grateful and thankful to be a part of this process and this journey. So everyone, I salute you for making that fantastic, wise decision to get into Onpassive.